Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Got some important news to share with people. It's definitely odd, definitely weird. I'm just going to start talking because I have to say some things that I've said a couple times for people that haven't heard it. A few years ago, like 3 years ago, the Lord gave me a dream. Pretty sure it was the Lord giving me a dream about a giant chunk of jade. And I've mentioned this dream quite a few times, the jade dream. Um, and in the dream, I was in a suburban neighborhood, okay? And I walked outside. It was a sunny day, beautiful day out. Seemed like a summer day. And in the street, there was a giant chunk of jade, but no one was around. I mean, everybody was gone. It was a complete ghost town. And it led me to believe that there was a pandemic happening, a lockdown happening. That's what I felt in my spirit when I seen these things in this dream. And there was a giant chunk of jade smack dab in the center of the road, the size of a truck. It was huge. And this is a piece of jade, just to give you an idea of what jade looks like. But the thing about this jade is that it was super clear. This isn't jade, but this is actually called emerald obsidianite, and it comes from Mount St. Helens. And when you make the ash heat up, it actually turns green. All right, but that was more along the lines of what the jade looked like, and I wanted to give you kind of a visual here of what that looked like. But it was this giant rough chunk of jade. It was rough on the outside. It wasn't polished or anything like that. This side is polished here, you can see, and then this obviously has a polished side to it. But it was rough, and you could see right through it. You know what I mean? Anyways. So jade to the Chinese represents rebirth, and there's also it's also a serpentine. So you know what I mean. The a lot of people call it the snake bite serpent, a serpentine, and then reborn, being reborn. I don't know, and it also in my spirit I felt that it was something that had come out of China, whatever was going on now. This H5N1 thing and the likes of it definitely come from China. There's some people say that it doesn't come from China. In January, in the beginning of this year, a woman had died from the bird flu there in China. You can look it up. It's an actual thing. Anyways, so I saw this giant chunk of jade. I'm in a suburban neighborhood. It's a ghost town. Nobody's around. Everybody's in their homes. You know what I mean? And immediately I saw, like, I was in like an inner city setting, okay? And you got to bear with me here. I'm going somewhere with all this. You're definitely going to want to hear where this goes. Your mind's going to be blown just as much as I was. Someone emailed or texted me this link, and it just absolutely blew my mind because the Lord showed it to me. The Lord showed it to me, and it's just on point. Anyways, so I was immediately in like this inner city setting, okay? And it looked like warfare was happening. I mean, absolutely, like bullet holes riddled. You know how like when bullets hit cement, it takes a chip out of it and things start to fall apart and whatnot. As you know, you've seen it in the Middle East, especially like in Syria. You know what I mean? In Damascus, you know, like where all these buildings are rubble and stuff from all the warfare that's taken place in it. That's what it looked like. It looked very run down, warfare ridden, and I saw two elite forces. One was definitely law enforcement. You know, they were definitely like sheriffs or sheriff's deputies, state police, and like your city police and things like that had gotten together and formed a group to protect citizens or just protect their area. And I'm going to say things I haven't said before, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I saw a foreign force, and I felt like it was these illegal immigrants that were hired by the U.S. government. Just going to say it. Just going to say it. And they had black tactical gear on, didn't speak a lick of English, okay? And they had the face masks, they had the goggles, they had the black helmets, you know, the tactical vest, bulletproof armor, all this stuff. You know, we're definitely full-blown tactical gear. Anyways, so in my dream, I saw one from each side, one of these guys from each side, get into a fight, and the foreign force hit the guy with one of these, got him. You know what I mean? It wasn't in his arm, but it was like in his leg or something. Just hit him with it, and immediately the guy dropped dead. All right, just giving you that quick gist of that dream. All right, and I felt like the Lord had showed me another lockdown, another pandemic is coming. All right, now I am going to go a little bit further before I get into a third part of this. You guys have to understand this, that I've had a series of dreams, that the Lord has shown me some things, and it's lining up, folks. Like I'm not freaked out, but I'm genuinely like, what is happening right now? This is wild. So 7 years before the first lockdown, I did have a dream, all right, where I was sick with a sickness, and I did get sick with coronavirus. I almost died from it. All right, I had lots of mucus. In this dream, in my city, there was a Chinese restaurant. Okay, it was Chinese, and it had been converted into a medical facility. Okay, and they were taking people in on stretchers, but they were more like stainless steel slabs. They weren't like your normal stretcher beds or nothing like that. And they were rolling people in there, and people are just like, just dying. It was graphic. I'm not gonna lie. All right, mucus just pouring out of them, drowning in their own fluids and stuff. Okay. Anyways, I got better in the dream. I escaped the Chinese medical facility that this Chinese restaurant that had been converted into a medical facility, and I started to flee for my life. Okay, and I started to run back home. But at the time, I didn't live in this city. At the time I had this dream, I did not live in this city, and now I live in this city. And the direction I was running to was the direction where I live now. Okay, not gonna lie, weird stuff. Anyways, it was 7 years later, we ended up having the COVID pandemic, and the lockdowns and all that stuff, right? And you can ask my wife, and she's been in the live chat before. For those of you who have been here before, when she's in the live chat, she will literally tell you, I told her this years before any of that ever happened. I told her a week before the lockdown actually happened. I said, honey, they're gonna lock us down. Brace yourself, it's gonna happen. And boom, you know what I mean? And some of you have even been in the live chat when she's told you this. She's like, I never used to really believe my husband's stuff. Like, she used to think I was kind of crazy a little bit, until that. She kind of is like, okay, you know what, I'm going to listen. Right? And everything's changed, and I was definitely vindicated. All right. Now, this jade dream, okay, where I saw this giant chunk of jade come from China. All right. I'm telling you, that's what it represents. It's not jade helm like people were always tried to say when I first was telling people this dream. I mean, darn near a year ago. Okay, I was warning people a year ago about this. All right, and here we are now. We have some new kind of virus, H5N1, brewing right now, and they're saying that it has mutated dozens of times already and is becoming resistant to certain drugs. Absolutely gain of function. Okay, there is no getting around that. All right, this is not some natural occurrence. I'm telling you right now. Okay, now there's a third dream I had. So I had that jade dream about 3 years ago. Okay, but I started telling you guys, 7, 8, 9 months ago. I think it was on Rumble when I first shared the dream, because at that time they were really, for some reason, they were really heavily blocking almost every video that I was making, and it kind of came and it went. You know what I mean? Lately, they've let me get away with quite a bit, and so I'm bringing this to you now. And so after that dream, there's probably, I don't know, it was within the same month, maybe 2 or 3 months after I had that dream, kind of in that vicinity, where I had another dream. All right. And I was in a school. Y'all need to hear this because I'm about to show you something. You're going to be like, what? All right. So I was in a school parking lot. All right. And I know the school. I know the parking lot. It's in my area. Not going to say where because I want to protect my family and where we live. Anyways, so there's a school parking lot. I'm standing in the school parking lot. Everything's bustling as normal. Kids moving about, cars coming and going. And then it was like I was like viewing it from like a perspective where I couldn't move exactly at first. And I was just kind of like turning this way and turning that way. And in the scene comes these people that are like, like walking like zombies. I mean, outright zombies. Bleeding from their eyes, bleeding from their mouth. And I've told this before. I've told you this just recently, these past few lives. I've been telling you guys these dreams that I had, and boom, now something's going on. I'm telling you, just wait, just wait. All right. And immediately everybody's like, it was almost like there was like nobody cared and this and that until these people started, bleeding, hemorrhaging, okay, from every orifice in their body, like their ears and their eyes and their mouth and their nose, everywhere. All right. Hemorrhaging, like literally pouring blood. All right. Now, okay. Everybody was like, took it seriously then. It's like, you know what? We're heading inside. Everybody ran to their houses. Everybody ran to their houses. I remember seeing people run to their houses, slamming their door shut, pulling their blinds shut, locking the doors. All right. And I mean, like, it turned into like a ghost town real quick, except for these people that were walking around like, and I'm pouring blood. All right. So that was, and I made my way home, which is in the same direction where I live now. Okay. In my dream, all right, and I'm telling you, people, I was just sent this. This is today. This came out today, all right. Now I know you guys have all heard about this man from Texas that has conjunctivitis, okay. And I'm not saying what I'm about to show you is extremely graphic, okay. Hold on, give me a second here. I'm not saying what I'm about to show you is extremely graphic, but they're coming out with an article, and I'm going to read the article to you here, okay. They're actually saying, and they're giving you a picture of this man's eyes. All right. This man's eyes. I'm telling you, this does not look like conjunctivitis. I don't know what they are telling us, and I don't know what is going on, but something isn't right, folks, because I'm telling you, his eyes are bleeding. He has blood in his eyes. All right. And I told you guys in my dream that these people started hemorrhaging. All right. Started hemorrhaging from their eyes, from their nose, from their mouth. And this guy's got blood in his eyes. All right. Right there. Okay. Now, all right, I'm going to read this article to you so that way you know kind of what's going on. Give me a second here. But that's supposed to be the picture of the actual guy right there. Okay. With blood in his eyes. You know, this is supposed to be, hold on, I'll turn the brightness down. This is supposed to be the guy with the blood in his eyes. All right, the actual guy that in Texas that has the conjunctivitis from the H5N1. All right, from the H5N1 is what they're telling us. It's conjunctivitis, I guess. That don't look like conjunctivitis to me. That don't look like no conjunctivitis to me, if you ask me, people. All right, hold on one second. So, and I'm going to show it one more time because I know Clayton Joseph just joined the live chat, and I want him to see like that people. And I'm not saying that this is like Ebola or hemorrhaging yet, but it's crazy that he's bleeding from his eyes. Hold on, I got to click on this here. It takes a while to load, but yeah, he's literally bleeding from his eye. And this is supposed to be the guy in Texas, the worker that caught H5N1 from the cow. That don't seem right to me, folks. And it's from the Daily Mail, okay? It's from the Daily Mail. All right, I'm going to read you this article here. They're saying that they said that the patient's eyes were red and inflamed. They don't even look inflamed. They look filled with blood. All right. Infection began in the right eye, scientists said, before also emerging in the left. Man, I'm telling you, people, I don't know what's going on. While the man suffered very mild symptoms, that doesn't seem like a mild symptom to me. That seems like something ain't right, folks. They're saying gruesome first photo of Texas dairy farm worker who caught bird flu from a cow shows how he suffered bleeding in his eyeballs. And I told you just the other day, this came out just today. This came out just today. I told you days ago that I had a dream about people bleeding from their eyes, bleeding from their nose and their mouth, and hemorrhaging. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that this is connected, but it's kind of fishy. It's kind of fishy. Now it says here, while the man suffered very mild symptoms, the photo shows how the virus caused blood vessels in his eyes to pop, leading to bleeding on the surface of his eyeballs. Hello, Cause, how are you doing, sister? Super Flirth, how do you do? Courtney Ann, how do you do? Captain Potato Sparrow, how do you do? Lou HCB, how do you do? Ma, how do you do? Lisa Pimentel, How do you do? And Susan Mine, how do you do? In an official case report published Friday, experts at the CDC said they found strong evidence via genetic data that he caught the virus from an infected cow in March. But I'm telling you, this stuff, people are getting sick and dying from it, even in China in January. They're just not telling you the truth. They're not telling us the truth. The confirmation marks the first instance of the H5N1 virus jumping from mammals to humans, a milestone that is of enormous concern to the WHO, World Health Organization. The image and further details on the case were revealed. Hold on one second. Were revealed in a report published in the New England Journal of Medicine. They said the patient also suffered from a subconjunctival hemorrhage. Right there, hemorrhage, or bleeding just beneath the conjunctiva or clear surface covering the white part of the eye. Scientists also noted a watery fluid that was being discharged from the right eye. Yikes, people, yikes. Hold on one second. The patient is only the second person to be diagnosed with the bird flu in the U.S., so they're telling us, and the first globally thought to have caught the virus from a mammal. That's not true. There's a young man that was visiting the UK. I think he was from Vietnam, went back home, and he died. He was like 21 years old. Died from bird flu. All right? That's what they're telling us it's called, bird flu. But I'm telling you right now, exactly, Super Flurf. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. This ain't conjunctivitis. I've seen conjunctivitis. I've seen people with pink eye before. Their eyes like this and all that stuff. They can barely open it. It's all crusty and weird. You know what I mean? And like super, not full of blood. Not full of blood. Hello, Barb Forever. So like I said, there's a guy in Vietnam that contracted it when he took a trip to the UK and he went back home and he died. There's a lady in January died from the bird flu there in China. All right. That was the first one that I know of. But I'll tell you right now, there's more in China, but they're not telling us. China controls all their media that goes in and out. Almost 900 people in 23 countries have been infected with the H5N1 strain of avian flu over the last 2 decades, but they were all linked to wild or kept birds. They were working with cattle thought to be infected with bird flu at the time, which scientists say is the likely route of transmission. So it's all in the milk, and they've done the PCR testing on the milk that's showing inactive specimens, fragments of the bird flu. But what they've even told us, all right, what they've even told us, yes, that's what I was about to bring up, Alberto. But they've actually told us that the PCR test doesn't catch live virus. I've literally read stuff to you that proves that, right? And not to mention this guy that was traveling from the Philippines, all right, with his wife or whatever, and he bled out right there on the plane. Remember that? Remember that, people? I hope you're listening. I'm telling you. And I told you I had a dream about it. I told you days ago I had a dream about it before those pictures even just surfaced. But I'm telling you right now, yeah, it doesn't pick up the live virus is what they're saying in other reports. Now, it comes amid warnings from veterinarians in some areas that they are hearing reports of other farmers falling sick but not getting tested for bird flu. It's because, you got a bunch of farmers and things like that, and I'm not saying they're hardened individuals, but they work with their hands. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to be out there and bust hump and be on the farm and work hard. You know what I mean? These guys butchering chickens and, milking cows and going about it. You know what I mean? Providing for their families. They don't need no bird flu test. You know what I mean? They just deal with it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot more of this that could be going on than what's actually being reported. So far, the virus has spread to 39 dairy herds, so that's up from the 33 that they were saying the other day, and then it was 36, and now it's 39. But this is what they're telling us. In 9 states, and I'm telling you it's 10, California was added to the list. I don't know why they haven't told you California's added to the list yet, but it has been, which suggests hundreds, if not thousands, of dairy workers have been exposed. And these people go to their families, and they have kids, and they send their kids to the schools, and those kids go home to their families. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, people, something's going on. I hope people are ready for this. And there isn't a face mask on this planet that's going to protect you from some hemorrhagic fever, plain and simple. I'm telling you, there's not a thing on this earth that's going to really protect you from it, except for a biosuit and a BNC gas mask. And I'm telling you, the filters for it are so expensive. You would have to spend $1 million to last a couple of years in a pandemic. The Texas patient came to doctors with the infection in late March, with scientists saying his vital signs, such as breathing, were normal. They also did not record any signs of fever, respiratory symptoms, or changes in vision during the infection. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe a thing that they're saying. I'm just reading to you this thing. The day after treatment with antivirals, the patient reported no symptoms except discomfort in both eyes. But they just told us earlier in this article that it was in one eye and then went to the other. Makes no sense. The report added, over the subsequent days, the worker reported resolution of conjunctivitis without respiratory symptoms, and household contacts remained well. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Global News Wars' wife, she's anemic, and she was getting a hold of the doctor to get it set up for a test to monitor her hemoglobins, I think it is. I'm stupid as a box of rocks when it comes to that stuff. But the doctor kept asking, or the nurse kept asking, do you have any flu-like symptoms or anything like that? Do you have any, diarrhea or vomiting or anything like that? I'm telling you, people. And I know there's a person that got a hold of me that works for a very prestigious doctor or a prestigious surgeon. Okay. And I'm not going to say what state just to protect him and his career. Okay. But he got a hold of me and he said that he was in a private conversation with this surgeon, and the surgeon told him this will be something. What do they know that we don't know? What do they know that we don't know and that they're keeping silent? They're keeping it silent so that way we don't uprise, you know what I mean? And before their little pandemic treaty is signed. That's what I think is going on, people. That's what I think is going on. I think that's the real news of what's really happening here. Because I'm telling you right now, this is fishy. This is absolutely fishy. Hold on, the website's messing up. All right, so the CDC director, Dr. Mandy Cohen, described the individual's infection in early April as very mild. Very mild. She told, but it's mutated since then too, right? And now it's drug resistant. So it's definitely, there's a lot of function gaining, if you know what I'm saying. She told NPR the person's had very mild symptoms. They're recovering well, but we want to make sure again that we are testing folks who may have been in contact. Why do you care then if everything's A-okay? It comes amid reports from veterinarians that a number of farmers working with infected cattle appear to be sick. So, okay, let me break this down for a minute. If this dude gets sick and he's got something wrong is with his eyes, and there's veterinarians that are coming in saying, I got this problem with my animals and all this stuff, and the veterinarians are noticing that the farmers, the farm workers, the farm hands are sick, right? Are sick. What? Just looking at their eyes, they got pink eye? Is that what it is? No, dude, something more is going on. We are being lied to. But that they are not coming forward for testing. Of course they wouldn't. They don't trust you. It comes after America's top bird flu expert said the bird flu may be one step closer to infecting humans. That makes no sense because it already infected a human, and you're monitoring, and this is what the numbers were in the beginning. A week ago, they were saying they're monitoring 44 people, 25 of them with symptoms, and they won't tell us what symptoms they are. And where do you have them? On some military base underneath the ground somewhere? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? What aren't you telling us? And then now the number's to 100. And now, earlier today, I read an article to you that said over 100. Over 100 people. Over 100 people are being monitored. And they won't tell us, all right? They won't tell us how many of those people are actually experiencing symptoms and what those symptoms are. And they're not even saying it's just conjunctivitis. I mean, I hope you guys have been paying attention to my lives the past few days, all right, talking about this bird flu stuff. And if you haven't, you best go watch them and get informed because there's a lot happening and it's happening fast. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen in the snap of a finger. And people are going to be like, what is going on? Chaos. I'm telling you, it's coming. All right, hold on one second. In an interview with Stat News, Dr. Vivian Dugan, who also directs the CDC's flu division, insisted that the risk to the general public was still low. That's why they're testing a bunch of cows, and that's why they're jumping through all these hoops now and all this stuff. That's why now they're finally telling workers on farms to mask up and wear gloves, and aprons and all this stuff. And they're telling veterinarians to do the same that are working with animals because the risk to the general public is low. I'm going to say something, all right? I'm a gardener, and I notice things too. And I pay attention to stuff too. And I'm going to tell you right now, something that I've noticed is birds inevitably poop all over the place. All right. I'm a really clean person. Every time I go inside, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not touching my face or nothing when I'm working in the soil. But I've noticed here and there bird poops. And there are some that are really disgusting looking all of a sudden. Like ones that I've never seen before. It's like this runny, weird looking stuff. And I'm not trying to be gross, but you notice it. I mean, I could even take a picture of my wife's window on her car. All right. It literally looks like the birds have diarrhea. All right. Like some of them have diarrhea. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there. All right. Hold on. We're not done yet with this article, but my phone's acting up. But she had admitted that the repeated infections in cattle suggested the virus could become endemic in the species, raising the risk of the H5N1 spillover to humans who have close contact with the animals. She also warned officials were having trouble tracking infections because many farmers were not coming forward to get tested. Only 25 people have been tested for the disease so far in relation to the outbreak in cows, and 100 are under monitoring. See, I just told you. They lied to you before, now they're telling you the truth. But that number 25 hasn't changed. All right, I've been telling you 25, okay? I've been telling you 25. But here's the thing, all right? They were saying just the other day 23, and now it's 25. So the numbers are growing, all right? Slowly, but they're growing. And it's becoming drug resistant. All right, I told you in another live, I can't remember the name of the drug, all right? But, anti-flu or whatever, if that's not the name of it, but that's what it was. And if you go to my other lives and listen to that, all right? What does that even mean? Thank you, leaning on my savior. Bird flu can't even make me smoke. I don't understand what that means, but okay. But here's the thing. So I told you the name of the drug in another live. What's the one that it's already becoming resistant to? And they said that it had okay, quit. Okay, good, Virginia Caswell. That's awesome. Good to hear that. Oh, okay, I see. All right, day 4, smoke free. Keep praying for me, please, and thank you. Of course, Virginia. Of course, I didn't see that. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking up on the live chat. Anyways, so there's all this stuff going on. It's becoming drug resistant. In that same article, they told us that there was 2 mutations. And I said, well, doesn't it becoming resistant to the drug count as a 3rd mutation? But here's the thing. An article I read to you earlier today in my live earlier today said that there's been dozens of mutations. I mean, which one is it? You know what I mean? Like, I honestly think it's the latter. I think they're telling us the truth there and saying there's been dozens of mutations. Crazy stuff. For comparison, among poultry workers who have been dealing with H5N1 for more than 2 years, the CDC has tracked more than 8,000 people for symptoms. So in 2 years, so this has been going on. That's what that tells me. This has been going on, and they didn't bother telling the public. A total of 36 dairy farms across 9 states have also tested positive for the disease. Well, isn't that interesting? Because earlier in this article, they told us 39. They told us 39. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the photo one more time. It's not gruesome like they're saying it is, but it's enough for concern. And this is supposed to be the guy with conjunctivitis, aka pink eye. All right, that does not look like pink eye to me. That does not look like pink eye to me at all. It looks like his eye's full of blood. And I've been telling you for a while now about these dreams I've been having. The first one being a dream of a sickness coming out of China once again and causing a lockdown. And then a forced this, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And then another dream after that where people are hemorrhaging to death. And then people finally, in the dream, it kind of, in my mind, it kind of seemed like people finally took things seriously and headed into their houses and split. And I know a nurse lady, her name is Elizabeth. She ain't gonna mind I share her name, but very, very intelligent woman, very intelligent woman. And she absolutely believes that this is going to turn into some like Ebola thing. Like this is what she thinks, that there's some kind of function of gain, okay, that they've done. Okay, I said that way to kind of protect my channel here. Function of gain, okay, that they've done, where they've added some kind of Ebola thing to it. And then there's a bunch of nurses in Denver that got injected with a live Ebola virus. Starting to sound a lot like this movie, if you ask me. It's starting to sound a lot like, I don't know if any of you have seen this older movie called Outbreak, but I know it's a monkey in here and all that stuff, but it's a mammal. It's a mammal. It's starting to sound like that movie. It's starting to sound like that movie. Hold on one second. My poor pool has poop all over the cover. It is disgusting. It is the crows here in West Virginia now. I am paranoid. When I open the pool and the poop gets in the water, will the chemicals kill the bird flu? I don't know, Lisa Pimentel. Bird, not burden. Yeah, I don't know, Lisa Pimentel. You might want to research that. Yeah, you might want to research that. The horseman pestilence is about to start riding along with the other horses. No, the horses are not here yet, Sammy Thompson. I'm not mad at you or nothing like that, but I got to delete a comment like that because that's absolutely not even close to what's happening here. The Antichrist is the first rider. We don't have the Antichrist here yet. Deborah Duffin, you may have already said this, but there is a case of it crossing over to humans now somewhere in Texas. I don't know where or what because my husband didn't let me finish watching it. It's true, though. That's what we were talking about. This is the guy that contracted it in Texas, and this is absolutely the picture of his eyes. That's not conjunctivitis. My wife will tell you that's not conjunctivitis. I showed it to her. She's like, that don't look like pink eye at all. That don't look like pink eye at all. And it looks like, and he even said it's like transferring over to the other eye. Now, hold on a second. I can't zoom in. It already looks like it's starting to get into the other eye. You can see the blood in the other eye. Like what? Is it his head going to just start filling with blood or something? Is that what's going to go on? Really weird stuff, people. Hold on one second. Yeah, it's an intense movie. Definitely a graphic movie. I know the DVD version isn't as graphic as the VHS. The VHS, that's an unedited thing. They definitely edited the DVD. I can tell you that much right now. So if you've seen the DVD, that's different. Or what they have digitally, they edited a bunch of stuff out of the digital version. I own the DVD and the VHS. And the VHSs, there's a lot more to it in the VHS. And that's why I like VHSs. Because there's a bunch of stuff they take out of movies when they digitalize them and stuff. Yeah, it is pretty funky, Barb Frevert, 100%. Yeah, that's not pink eye, not conjunctivitis at all. Not conjunctivitis at all. Has anybody heard any reports? Anybody getting sick? Do you know anybody getting sick? Flu-like symptoms, like something that I know that the doctors are on the lookout for. People with flu-like symptoms, diarrhea, vomiting, pain in their stomach, things like this, and pink eye, I guess, pink eye. Because I have a friend, like I said, Brother Global News Wars, his wife tried to contact, she's anemic, so she got low iron and stuff like that, and she wanted to contact a doctor about her hemoglobins, and they just kept asking questions pertaining to any flu-like symptoms. And so if you're a nurse, and you're watching this, there's 92 people watching this right now. If you're a nurse and you're watching this and you're seeing stuff in your hospital, I can keep whatever you're saying silent. You know what I mean? I don't have to put your name out there, but people need to know what's really happening. If you have information and want to come forward, you can email me at endtimestalk777@gmail.com. That's endtimestalk, just like it's spelled up here, with a 777 at the end, all lowercase. These are capitals, all lowercase letters. Endtimestalk777@gmail.com. You can email me, and I'll keep your anonymity. I'll keep your identity a secret and what state you're in, even if you want. But people need to, come forward if you know. So Deborah Duffin says I still have a working VCR and we still have the movies we recorded on tapes we bought. Yep. So anyway, but it just reminds me of that. And then you have movies like that, Contagion, in that, I don't know if it's exactly a bird flu, but they talk about that it is a bird flu that's mutating, Thank you, Deborah Duffin. Thank you. I appreciate that. Superflirth says, I'm so glad I live in a small country town in Australia. Well, if you have birds, it doesn't matter. Birds migrate all over the place. And I remember Bill Gates saying, COVID-19, they didn't really pay attention to. And he says, the next one they'll pay attention to. And he starts smirking. And his wife goes, yeah, they will. And he's like, yeah. Like they know. You know what I mean? And then you got the director of the CDC, Robert Redfield, coming out saying that, it's not COVID-19 you need to worry about. It's the bird flu. And whatever they've souped it up, Hello, Sharon Eccles. Good to see you. Hello, Leslie Jacobs. Good to see you. Yeah, just really weird stuff, man. Really weird stuff. I'm going to show this one last time if I still have it on my phone. Give me a second here. But this is a picture. Oh, hold on one second. Good gravy. This is a picture of the guy that supposedly has pink eye there in Texas. That don't look like no pink eye to me. That don't look like no pink eye to me, people. All right, and I've been telling people that after the dream where I saw something coming out of China, the Jade dream, I'm gonna refer to it as. I saw another dream where people were hemorrhaging. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of this movie, this Outbreak movie, and it's from mammals. It says this animal carries a deadly virus, and the greatest medical crisis in the world is about to happen. I'll read the back. Your heart is racing. You shiver with fear. You've caught what's going around. You've got the fever, the frenzy, and all the thrills. You're watching Outbreak. I'm not going to go through all the names and Academy Awards and all that. A take-charge Army virologist trying to stave off global biological meltdown, a rare killer virus from the jungles of Zaire, has taken hold in a California community. It knows no boundaries. Its mortality rate is 100%, and some say the only way to stop its spread is to firebomb the town and everyone in it. Man. Crazy. I have it, and that is almost too red. Pink eye look pink, not red like that. I agree, Sharon. I agree. 2 hot dogs and hamburgers, or just 2 hot dogs? I don't know what you're saying, Barb Forever. Wouldn't it be funny? She's trying to text her husband, right, what he wants for supper or something like that, and she accidentally put it into the live chat. That'd be funny. I'd laugh at that. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what's going on, people. But if you want to know what's going on, fast forward to the beginning of the live, and I go through these dreams that I've had, and they seem to be lining up, man. I mean, if they're like this dude's eyes are full of blood. Yeah, they definitely do, Sharon. They definitely do look weird. Some don't seem right. And what's interesting is I got to give Elizabeth some credit here. And I was talking to Sister Elizabeth yesterday, and I was talking to her. I'm like, I told her about the J dream and the hemorrhaging dream, and she's like, I absolutely think that they have to do something like Ebola to scare the daylights out of people. So it was. I was right, Barb Forever. She says, I thought I was texting my husband what he wants for supper. Oh, I was right. I'm kidding. No, so but yeah, I was talking to Elizabeth, and she's a very intelligent nurse, very intelligent nurse. And she said, I definitely think this is something, but she thinks it's going to kind of snowball into some kind of Ebola something. All right. And dude, she said that yesterday. And now this dude's pictures are coming out of his eyes full of blood. And maybe it's a slow burn. I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. I hope it's nothing. I hope it's nothing. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope they were just dreams. Honestly, I got a garden to grow. You know what I mean? I got peppers to grow, food to grow. So, yeah, I don't know, man, what's going on, but it definitely is fishy. I read the article to you guys. You know, it's something's definitely happening, and I'll be honest with you, I would not take this lightly. People need to start doing research. If 93 people that are watching right now got out and even bird netting, they can poop on you. Yep, I've been finding poop around my garden. That's normal. I mean, you know, and I mean, I'm not scared. I serve a God that can overcome this stuff. You know what I mean? And can keep me healthy. I think, but taking your supplements, if you can just proactively take supplements, preemptively take supplements, and you know, get as healthy as you possibly can. You know, stop whatever smoking you're doing and this and that. Just kind of, you know, try to get healthy. I think people stand a good chance of just, you know, not accepting your body rejecting whatever sickness, you know what I mean, and fighting it off. You know, just as long as you have, you know, a good immune system. Colloidal silver, that's something that helps. You know, that helps me when I'm sick. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell everybody, but I'll tell you right now, there's not a mask or type of mask or anything like that in this world that can stop like an Ebola sort of situation. You know what I mean? That's like airborne, you know, gets in the eyes, all that stuff. Man, I'm telling you, we're in some trouble. I'm going to end this live stream, though, because that's all the information I have for you. So I hope you share it with other people because I don't know what's going on, but this is some funky, weird stuff. May God bless you all. May he keep you. Please don't forget to go out and change this world in which you live.